Wack 100 has always been known for his outspoken nature and controversial takes, but recent revelations on the No Jumper podcast, where he sat down with Akademiks and Vlad, have left the hip-hop world in shock. The conversation turned heated as Wack 100 was put on the spot about his connection to Big U and Bricc Baby, two figures central to a range of ongoing rumors and whispers within the industry. While Wack 100 has a reputation for speaking his mind, his evasive responses during this interview raised eyebrows and sparked further curiosity about what he may be hiding. The tension in the room was palpable when the topic shifted to Big U, a prominent figure in the West Coast rap scene. Big U is often surrounded by rumors about his involvement in various street activities and business dealings that extend beyond the music industry. When asked about his relationship with Big U, Wack 100 initially tried to brush it off, claiming that he had always kept his dealings with Big U business-focused. However, Akademiks and Vlad weren't about to let him off the hook that easily. They pushed harder, asking specific questions about Big U's involvement in certain situations that have been the subject of much speculation. Wack 100, known for his ability to navigate tricky waters, sidestepped the questions with remarkable finesse, deflecting and redirecting the conversation each time. But things really heated up when the topic of Bricc Baby came up. Bricc Baby, a well-known figure in both the streets and the music industry, has also been linked to various controversial situations over the years. His name has come up in numerous discussions surrounding street politics and the entertainment world, and it's clear that his presence in the industry has raised some eyebrows. When Wack 100 was pressed on his knowledge of Bricc Baby's involvement in a certain case, he struggled to give a clear answer. Instead, he danced around the question, speaking in vague terms and even attempting to downplay the importance of the case. His reluctance to speak candidly about Bricc Baby raised suspicions that there may be more to the story than he was letting on. For those familiar with Wack 100's usual bravado and willingness to speak freely, this sudden shift to evasiveness was unexpected. It left many wondering whether Wack 100 was deliberately covering up information, or if there were secrets that he simply couldn't afford to reveal. His usual confidence seemed to falter when confronted with questions about Big U and Bricc Baby, leading to even more speculation about his role in these ongoing stories. One of the most intriguing aspects of the interview was the dynamic between Wack 100, Akademiks, and Vlad. Both Akademiks and Vlad have built their platforms on providing the public with insider knowledge and controversial takes, and they were clearly enjoying the opportunity to push Wack 100 into a corner. Their questions were pointed, and their persistence seemed to rattle Wack 100 in a way that viewers hadn't seen before. It was almost as if he was trying to protect not only his relationships with these two powerful figures, but also his standing in the industry, which has always been a delicate balancing act for him. What made the situation even more complicated was the fact that Wack 100 has often positioned himself as a man who knows the ins and outs of the music industry. He's built a reputation as someone who has connections to nearly everyone in the game, from top-tier rappers to street legends. But when it came to addressing the specifics of his connection to Big U and Bricc Baby, Wack 100's usual bravado seemed to evaporate. His attempts to deflect questions about their involvement in certain events only served to raise more questions. The secrecy surrounding Big U and Bricc Baby is not something new in the hip-hop community. For years, rumors have circulated about their involvement in street-level dealings, and their connections to some of the biggest names in music have only fueled the speculation. Wack 100's refusal to discuss the details of these connections has led many to believe that he is hiding something, whether out of loyalty to these figures or fear of the consequences that could come from revealing too much. The fact that he didn't address these matters directly on such a high-profile platform, like No Jumper, only added fuel to the fire. As the interview progressed, it became clear that Wack 100 was walking a fine line. On one hand, he needed to maintain his tough guy persona and protect his credibility as someone who's deeply embedded in the culture. On the other hand, he seemed to understand the gravity of discussing sensitive topics like Big U and Bricc Baby, both of whom have powerful connections in the streets. The result was a series of uncomfortable moments where Wack 100's answers didn't match his usual swagger, and his unwillingness to be transparent was evident. Fans of Wack 100 are no strangers to his controversial views and his willingness to stir the pot. He's made a career out of his outspoken nature, often courting drama in the music world. But this interview showed a side of him that many hadn't seen before. A man who, when pushed too hard, could not avoid the uncomfortable truth. His avoidance of certain topics during the interview has only deepened the mystery surrounding his relationship with Big U and Bricc Baby. People are now asking themselves why he would go to such lengths to cover up his knowledge of these two figures, and what the real story is behind the scenes. What's also noteworthy is the timing of the interview. With the rise of podcasts like No Jumper and platforms like Vlad TV, fans and industry insiders are more aware than ever of what goes on behind closed doors. These platforms have become powerful tools for exposing the hidden truths of the entertainment world, and Wack 100's attempt to avoid answering certain questions shows just how much the game has changed. No longer can public figures hide behind vague statements and evasions. The public now demands answers. For many, Wack 100's behavior in this interview only solidified the idea that there are layers of the story that remain untold. His refusal to acknowledge what is happening with Big U and Bricc Baby only fuels the narrative that there are deeper, darker secrets at play. The fact that he continues to skirt around these topics suggests that he is either protecting his own reputation or, perhaps, shielding the people he's closely connected with. Whatever the reason, his actions have raised more questions than answers. The No Jumper interview also highlighted the power dynamics at play in the hip-hop industry. Wack 100 is well aware of the influence he holds, but he's also acutely aware of the people who can make or break his career. By carefully choosing which secrets to reveal and which to conceal, he's playing a dangerous game of keeping his alliances intact while also maintaining his own status within the community. But with more and more people digging into the pasts of figures like Big U and Bricc Baby, Wack 100's strategy of silence may not hold up for long.